Saturday morning. I'm loaded up and headed to East Carbon, Utah for the Dirt Dobbers car show. They're gonna have a car show, so we're taking Trailmater up for that. Then they're having a burnout contest this afternoon, so we're bringing these two for that. Look who showed up here next to us. You might remember this one from the off-road games when I raced it. Still a little crunched up.
Yeah, it's got a little still. You gotta have some memories.
Yeah. You gotta leave some of it in there. Look at this. We accidentally won an award. We won the trophy for most likely to be towed. That should say most likely to do the towing. The fire truck's gonna sound the alarm in 60 seconds.
Go!
We'll see how she does. All right, so the buggy didn't do as good. It did it, but didn't do it as good. Okay, so we're all loaded back up on the trailer. The buggy is not a burnout machine unless it's in the big hot tub. Truck won an award at the car show for most likely to be towed. I think there's some irony there. Anyway, and the purple Jeep won the burnout contest. So it did amazing. Super cool. Many apologies, Lily. Sorry for what I did to your Jeep. But I know the mechanic, so it is what it is. But anyway, this is weekend shenanigans that we're doing and having a great time. So thanks for watching us do it. We really appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Alrighty, so it is 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. We were at a car show yesterday, and then I'm out here today doing all the recoveries I turned down yesterday because it was the car show. But now everybody's in a panic because they're like, I've got to get home for work on Monday. So we're gonna get this. We're gonna get her thrown on the trailer, get her out of here, get it back to them so they can take it out of here. Here we go. Ready? There, the bike's tied down. One over the back wheel, one pulling the front wheel into the bar. Two there, done. We'll get out of here. Back down the pavement, so we're going to take the bike over to the customer's Airbnb and drop it off, and then we got another one out on Gold Bar Rim that we got to go get. Alright, so we're right here at Golden Spike Spider, so we are on Gold Bar Rim. We're starting here. We're going to run up just below the waterfall, go down the waterfall, and they said it's a half mile past the waterfall, and we will grab it. It is a Jeep Cherokee with a broken steering box. And we're trying to beat that rainstorm right over there on the mountain. Probably a snowstorm up there, but when it gets here, it'll be a rainstorm. Alright, so we made it to the vehicle, and yeah, that bolt's broke off. Well, it's broke off of the steering box. That one might still be holding on there. This one's broke off. I think what we're gonna do is get creative with a ratchet strap. Nothing else, we can pick it up, take some of the tension off of it. Alright, so we've got a ratchet strap wrapped around the steering box and holding it to the frame. And now we're going to back up. I've got an idea for these lower straps we're going to try. See that wicked storm right there? It's slowly migrating this way. We may hide in the Jeep here for a second. We've got the X straps going to the steering. So as I turn this way, possibly. We'll see. This is all untested. But we've got a little tension up on here to where the steering will be easier for Jeff. So it won't have as much feedback. But we won't be hiking the front end all the way up. But it'll make it a little easier so that steering box won't be seeing as much yoink, yoink, yoink. So we will start easing our way out of here and see how it works and reassess everything here in about 5 minutes. That's what's caused a lot of issues pulling people out that haven't done it before, is when you put it in drive and help, and then I stall it out and I'm working at it trying to get over a rock, and then they think they're helping in drive and then push me sideways or smash into me or something. That's where just staying in neutral and letting me sort through it helps out. Which way are you turned? Okay. Alright, that's good right there. Yeah, it's just flopping all over the place. The wheels are just going willy-nilly all over. Look at that, we lucked out. Storm missed us, went right down that way. Here we go. We're gonna have to let it roll here in a second, because I'm gonna drop and that's gonna put your tires on the ground. There we go. Perfect. We'll find out if Trailmater's lines work for Mini-Mater. hold the brake. Okay, you're basically up, so I'm just gonna start easing forward and we'll re-brake it once we get up here. All right, so everything's going pretty smooth. We got the waterfall pretty decent. Now we're just working our way out of here. We missed the first storm, and now it looks like there's another one coming this way. But so the rain is here, and we are working our way through this. We're almost down. And that's when I'm really glad that I'm not in Trailmater, because when you're out here in Trailmater with a big giant metal pole sticking up as you're driving through a lightning storm, it's like, oh, this doesn't make me concerned at all. This is a new thing. I'm carrying a rig off the trail in a rainstorm, and I'm dry. This is all new to me. We're here at the trailhead. We're gonna drop this here. I've got to go do a side-by-side recovery on Hell's Revenge, and then I will hook onto the trailer and come out in the morning, pull this onto the trailer and store it at the shop for him. So we're gonna lock it up and take the keys, and then I'll come grab it later or in the morning, probably in the morning. Got a lot going. And we've got more recoveries calling in, and they're way far out, and holy heck, busy season is here. Grabbed the recovery trailer, got it behind Minnie. We're gonna run into Hell's out to Hell's Gate. Alrighty, so that's a creative use of zip ties and duct tape, but it didn't quite do it. So here's the trailer. Off the brake. There. We had to get a little creative. Get it on the trailer, kind of fish the trailer around so it would pull onto it straight. But we got it. Yeah, there's zero steering on there. All the bolts are broke. Anyway, it's out. We're taking this to the yard. They're gonna come pick it up next week. So there it is. That's a win. That's a Sunday. That's my chaotic life. That's what I get to do. So we had a dirt bike this morning, then this Jeep off Gold Bar, and then side by side off Hell's Revenge. And then we're gonna haul this one back into town. So here we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have no idea how much we appreciate it. Thank you. Papa Willie!
How do you get it? I don't know if I just turned it off. How do I know if it's going?